How long is this gonna take? It's starting to get cold out here.
It would help if you were a real man.
I'm a millennial. It's not my fault I never learned any survival skills.
So you can save a princess in an 8-bit castle, but you can't save yourself? Pathetic.
Paul M. Davis says, this is the most disturbing article I've read in a while. Trump's executive order to clean up the streets will involuntarily commit many homeless to mental institutions without due process. Are there even mental institutions to hold these people? Because we got rid of all our mental institutions. There aren't any mental institutions. That's one of the big problems. And it didn't just start under Reagan. It finished under Reagan. It started in the 50s, closing down mental institutions. We don't have capacity. We don't have capacity to deal with these mentally ill people, the drug addicts, all that stuff. Are there empty mental health facilities somewhere with empty rooms everywhere? The more carbon, the more greenery there is on the planet. And greenery eats carbon. So I know that. So it's almost like nature has a system for this.
Why we want to cut down carbon, then we'd have less greenery.
We'd have less greenery.
Are you terraforming the planet for lizard people? That's the only question I have at this point. Like
at the very least, climate change is a lot more complicated than they want to make it seem. At the very least.
That's why they have to fly around in those jet
And that's
planes.
why they fly. And the people screaming the loudest about climate change are the people who are clinging to their private jets and their 450-foot yachts. People like Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg. They're not going to stop. They're not going to stop having 450-foot yachts with 4 giant diesel engines so they can go take a cruise on the ocean. They're not going to stop doing that. And they're going to take a helicopter to that thing. They're going to take a private jet to a helicopter to their yacht.
Larry Ellison has smaller boats that follow the yacht in case the basketballs from the basketball court go off the side.
Yeah, they have what they call a support yacht.
There's a fleet of basketball catching boats.
When you have a yacht that big, you need a support yacht. That's where all the guys who run your yacht, that's where they sleep and live. Yeah. I do have mixed emotions over this, but after COVID, I ain't taking any of that. I was here on time. Kurt wasn't. I was here on time. Kurt wasn't. Just want to let everybody know. I was here on time. I didn't get a nap. Did not get my nap today. I don't know what happened. I wake up with anxiety. I think it's about my special. I'm worried about my special. I think what I'm going to do is what I did with COVID Lies Are Funny. Is I'm going to put out some clips so people can see it. And then if they want to watch it, they can go join the premium. Give me $10, you can watch it. How about that?
Done.
Oh, I didn't know you weren't doing that.
Well, I was just going to release the whole thing on YouTube, but I know when I see someone has an hour special, it's like, oh, I wish you like when it said, oh, Kurt Metzger, 30 minutes. I'm like, oh, great, it's 30 minutes. I don't know what that is. I could watch an hour special and just stop watching at 30 minutes if I wanted.
Yeah.
But
for some reason it's like, oh, it's such a commitment, But when it said, I remember I was looking up Dave Smith, and Dave Smith has one of those gas digitals, got 30 minutes of Dave. And I'm like, oh, good, it's only 30 minutes. I don't know why. What does that even matter? It shouldn't matter, but in my head it matters. It's like I could just watch 20 minutes if I wanted. Why do I... Anyway, so I think I'm going to release it this weekend. I'll release clips of it up on YouTube and Instagram and Rumble, and then drop. So I've been trying to get people to buy it, right? I tried to get Netflix, tried to get nobody wants a piece of the JD. Even Marty McCarry canceled on us on Friday, right?
Marty.
So the new FDA chief was supposed to come on, and then today we get a flurry of emails like, hey, he can't ask about this. He's not going to talk about this, right? He's not going to bring up Israel. He's not going to... It was a bunch of stuff like that. And I didn't see them. I just got... Malcolm texted me saying, hey, they're asking these questions. And I'll say, I'm only going to ask them stuff about the FDA. I won't ask them anything that doesn't have to do with the FDA. And then they came back with, first of all, they're going to charge us $1,100
For a certain system that we have to utilize
So
for the interview instead of Zoom.
So instead of using Zoom or normal things, they made you go through this service to interview people from the White House, right? And so I'm like, okay, so we got the service, whatever. Oh, it turns out it costs $1,100 each time you use it.
Each time.
That's it, right, Misha? Am
I don't
wrong?
know the details. It's called Encompass, I think, but I don't know about the details.
What is the benefit of using their thing?
Sounds like they got somebody getting a kickback. I don't know what the benefit is.
I mean, it
Yes.
just sounds like some weird layer of control over the
1,100
interview
for an
that
hour.
you would be giving. to them.
1,100 for an hour.
For an hour and a test.
Was it? Oh, was it OnlyFans?
Wow.
What's it called?
I'm just making sure. Did you? What's it called again, Misha?
Encompass.
Encompass. Can you hear Misha? People in the chat, tell me, could you hear Misha?
Can you guys hear me?
Do it higher. Go higher.
Can you guys hear me?
What is it called? Like, what's it? Was it conferencing thing?
Encompass.
What like?
Encompass. So people are saying yes, they can hear you, Misha. So zip it.
Oh, okay.
Misha has her own microphone. Not her. She doesn't want to be on camera. It's because she's topless. I know.
Yeah.
People have been wondering.
Mm-hmm. here.
Topless, you mean she's not wearing a hat?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I think you mean. So Kurt had a lot of suspicion. Now, Donald Trump has taken over the D.C. Police Department. He's going to try and make it permanent, from what I understand. And he's going to try to extend that to other cities. And I was making the point that the crime statistics are way down. Crime's way down, Kurt. Crime's
what
way
they
down
say.
in D.C. according to the. But then guess what? Kurt was like, I don't trust those statistics, Jimmy. Effectively cutting the legs out from underneath that segment I was doing, and I was like,
You're
well,
welcome. All of you are welcome.
but guess what? It turns out Kurt was right.
Did they change the definition of like murder? And
Yes.
It's like woman. It could be with a dick.
Well, it's worse. What's weird is that murder is up, but violent crimes are down. That's what they're trying to say. What?
That sounds so much better.
So
Well, why would
so
those things be separated?
here's a headline that says DC. Right? Why would that be? DC police commander suspended, accused of changing crime statistics. So that's a headline from Channel 4 in Washington D.C. And they give you this crime statistics. Murder. The murder rate in D.C. is higher than that in Bogota, Mexico City, Islamabad. Look how slow it is in Paris, London, Madrid. Washington, D.C. is the red. So they try to tell you that, yeah, murder rates are up, but violent crime is down. I thought those are the same thing.
What is? Yeah, I'm sorry. What is? I
Sure.
don't even understand how you can parse that.
If there's one thing we know, Kurt, it's that Washington, D.C. is the home of the truth. I mean, it's where honesty is made, much in the same way that Disneyland is the happiest place on earth because there's a sign that says so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a channel. NBC News in D.C. did this report. Let's watch.
DC Police Union is putting its allegations on the record tonight, claiming police supervisors in the department are manipulating crime data to make it appear violent crime has fallen considerably when compared to last year.
When our members respond.
All right, hold on one second. Staff?
I'm going to go to a break.
Start this video again.
DC Police Union is putting its allegations on the record tonight, claiming police supervisors in the department are manipulating crime data to make it appear violent crime has fallen considerably when compared to last year.
When our members respond to the scene of a felony offense where there is a victim reporting that a felony occurred, inevitably there will be a lieutenant or a captain that will show up on that scene and direct those members to take a report for a lesser offense. So instead of taking a report for a shooting or a stabbing or a carjacking, they will order that officer to take a report for a theft or an injured person to the hospital or a felony assault, which is not the same type of classification.
Greg Pemberton says the police department's command staff is focusing on two categories in order to get the numbers to fall. They are armed with a dangerous weapon, an injured person to the hospital.
When management officials are directing officers to take reports for felony assault, or if they're going back into police databases and changing offenses to felony assault is not a category of crime that's listed on the department's daily crime stats. It's also not something that's a requirement of the FBI's Uniform Crime Reporting Program. So by changing criminal offenses from, for example, ADW bat or ADW gun to felony assault, that would avoid both the MPD and the FBI from reporting that as a Part 1 or a felony offense.
Pemberton says the union has been gathering evidence for some time now by looking at reports and talking with officers all over the city.
What we've heard through our members and through members of management that are willing to talk with the union is that this is a directive from the command staff, is that they want to make sure that these classifications of these reports are adjusted over time to make sure that the overall crime stats stay down.
As of last Monday, when we spoke with Pemberton, D.C. crime data shows violent crime was down 28%. Today, the department's website says violent crime is down 25% when compared to the same time last year, and overall crime is down 8%.
That's preposterous. There's absolutely no way crime could be down 28%. Last year, they suggested that it went down 34%.
As for the claims made by the union,
Yeah, no shit. If
So
you
there's-
live in a city, you know.
So there's a little bit more to this.
and as for the claims made by the union, Chief Smith released this statement. It says, the Metropolitan Police Department is committed to upholding the trust and the confidence of the public. Any irregularity in crime data brought to my attention will be addressed immediately. I do not condone any official reclassifying criminal offenses outside the guidelines set in the MPD policy. Any allegation of this behavior will be dealt with through our internal processes, which will ensure those members are held accountable. I have the utmost confidence in the command staff leadership currently in place across the Metropolitan Police Department. And one other note, we did reach out to Chief Andre Wright, and he declined to comment.
Oh, really? He declined to comment? Really? Well, here, I'll come up with a comment for him. My comment is, we're proud of our police force and their ability to de-escalate problems. For instance, if a woman says she was sexually assaulted in Washington, D.C., we can now downsize it to just some guy was hitting on her.
Yeah, it's a separate thing.
Yeah. Especially if it's one of our newly arrived immigrants. So
Yeah.
Kurt was right. So I just wanted to update that story. Because I watched Glenn Greenwald's coverage of, Trump's takeover of the D.C. police, and he made a good point. He goes, let's say crime is down 26%. You still got carjacked. You don't care what that...
Yeah, that's true.
You don't care.
It went up 100% for me, carjackings. That's funny.
And that a lot of D.C. staffers, I guess, according to Glenn Greenwald, have been... have complained about this, about the crime. And, I go to D.C. at least, it seems like at least once a year. And I guess I'm always in the nice parts, whatever. I'm only in the parts that you go if you're a tourist,
Well, I would say New York, I'll bet you the crime's way higher in touristy parts more than where Russell lives,
Uh-huh, yeah.
Because he was like, it was not bad by me. I'm like, nah, they're all concentrating in the touristy parts that the cops used to have on lock. When I used to be there, the cops, because you're dealing with drug addicts and drunks all weekend. It looks like Armageddon there. But now they don't have the police presence because they got they defunded.
That did not happen, Kurt. They did not defund the cops.
Whatever that stupid that
didn't
slogan sucks
happen.
twice.
That was all a lip service that the Democrats were giving about we wanted to defund the police.
Black Lives Matter.
To Black Lives Matter. And when it came to defund the police, they said, hey, you know what? Let's do the opposite. Let's invent another police force and
Yeah.
and funded to the
Well,
tune of $2 billion.
They defunded public protection from the police is what they took away. I'm sure they added more police, but the cops on the beat, they're supposed to be there. They're not there now. So that got defunded because they're not there. And here where I live in Soros Town, Austin, they did the police force left because their union, you couldn't pay them less. So all the experienced officers quit when that bullshit was going on. And now they have people for a lot cheaper. And they can't bring back the experienced ones because the rules with the union or whatever. So that was a little trick. The money didn't go in the pockets of officers and whatever. It went to whatever these, like, I don't know what the hell it goes to.
So
It's like homelessness. The money goes in and there's more homelessness.
So it looks like, again, it doesn't feel good that Donald Trump is, his answer to everything is let's lock him up, right? And he says that we're going to evict, we're going to get rid of the homeless, we're going to kick them out. Like that, the reason why they're on the street is because they've already been kicked out. They got kicked out of their. He's like, we're going to evict them. They're on the street because they've been evicted. You can't evict someone twice.
To housing, you're gonna where would you evict people that live outside?
Right. My joke was, why don't you just pretend like they're immigrants and give them put them in hotels?
Yeah, well, I honestly don't understand that. Like, how is there all these hotels for people coming in illegally off an app? Well, I guess I don't even know if it was legal. Actually, I mean, they might have said they're asylum seekers and we're changing it so you could just come in. And I knew New York almost went bankrupt, right, from putting them up in fancy hotels for way more money than a hotel would.
Right.
Hotels got paid way more to put NGO brought in mass migration. So I don't understand why they can't do that for Americans.
The fact is they can. There's like $45 billion in the big beautiful bill to build more prisons for ICE. And so what do you think they're going to do when they can't fill those beds? They're going to put Americans in there, right? And I wonder if they put, and I've made this point before, like, so if they took that $45 billion and just built housing for people, that would be a start.
Oh, it would ruin the market, wouldn't it? Because all the foreign investment, say in New York and here and all the major cities where the rent never goes down, they wanted to encourage that global investment.
Yeah.
So
how about you
they don't want affordable housing? It'll bring down the market for the real estate cunts.
How about we how about we don't allow Chinese billionaires to buy property in America? How about we stop that kind of stuff? You know why we don't? You know why? It's because the real estate lobby wants that money here because they want real estate to be as expensive as possible because they make more money. So that's what's happening. There's ways to help out. One of them is, I haven't looked 100% into this, but it seems nuts that there's all these empty properties being bought by wealthy people who aren't American, and then they sit dormant and empty. And I know that's a problem. And it would be great if they got rid of the foreigners being able to buy real estate in America. They could just stop it.
Or why don't you, like, instead of rent control, which was the way to keep that up without doing what they should do, you build more housing. You don't have foreign nationals buying up all of your real estate. What country does that?
Well, we're going to talk about that in a sec. You're right. I wonder what other country allows that to happen. But anyway, we're going to talk about that in a second about the rent control in New York. But turns out Kurt was right. It looks like that they've been fudging the numbers on the crime statistics in Washington, D.C., to the point where the head of the police union is accusing the police administration of fudging the numbers.
Yeah, the police chief.
Yeah.
What's her name? Pamela something? She's from Arkansas, of course.
So they asked her, now that Trump was taking over the police in D.C., a reporter asked her, what's the chain of command now? And she says, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I just saw like a meme of that. I didn't see the video of her saying that, so I can't vouch for the veracity that she actually said that. But
well, it's easy to believe after I saw the guy, Biden's Fed guy, not know why we borrow money that we
right.
print.
Yeah.
So it seems at every level there's been some imbecile that doesn't know anything about what they're supposed to do. Why is that?
So it's going to be interesting to see how this all works out. And I really want to see what he does with the homeless people, because if you just lock up the homeless people, it costs $130,000 a year in California to put somebody in prison. I bet you could find them an apartment or a hotel room for a lot less. You know, and of course, these people need drug treatment programs. These people need mental health facilities. Why not take some of that $45 billion and build mental health facilities that the United States got rid of? Starting in the 50s. What didn't start with Reagan? That's what a lot of people thought. I thought that. And then turns out, no, that started in the 50s. The deinstitutionalization of the mentally ill.
Well, he did that in L.A. in the 50s, I believe, didn't he? In California.
When
was he governor of California? He was doing that in California.
I think he was governor of California. Was in the 70s, maybe.
Oh, was it?
I'm not sure, but they've been doing that nationwide. It wasn't just a Ronald Reagan thing. They were doing that nationwide, deinstitutionalizing the mentally ill. We don't have the capacity to take care of these people, but looks like Trump's going to build the prisons. And instead of taking care of them with the, drug treatment or mental health care or, just creating jobs and affordable housing, they're going to create unaffordable prisons and put people in prison.
Why don't they make the CIA pay restitution, because they're the ones that brought them drugs in that created that massive problem that we've never recovered from.
Right.
And we know they did. Everybody knows they did. There's no punishment for them. Scott Adams, I guess, will encourage us to just acknowledge that they're just going to lie to you. That's your lot in life.
So, tip of the hat to Kurt for getting this one right, and
guys, invest now.
Invest now, and
if you thought I was right about this, I'm going to tell you about Hawk Tuah coin.
If you'd like to hear some of my jokes about Trump's takeover of the D.C. police, you can come see me in Rutherford, New Jersey, Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Appleton, Wisconsin, Chicago, Louisville, Kentucky, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Over to Steph.
Okay, Jimmy, I was looking up this stat. Do you know the largest proportion of homeless people? What ethnicity?
White. Yeah,
So,
well, white people are like still 70% of the country at least, right?
Mm-hmm. So you have the homeless population in the United States. This is according to 2023, was 324,854 people.